Alright guys, today we are doing a rigid zero gravity, which is full of crap. We just lifted this thing up. It's full of gravity. That thing's full of gravity. It's 6800 running watt, 8500 starting watts. Generator, I'm doing the carburetor on it. It is a Yamaha mz360. Any of the parts I use will be in the description below. Click on the link. If you're on a mobile device, there's a down arrow next to the title. Click that. There's the description and the links will be in that. Alright guys, so first off, I took the air filter off, sprayed a touch of brake parts cleaner in there. You can use carb cleaner, brake cleaner. I use whatever's cheapest at the local auto parts store. Throw a squirt in there, see if it fires up. It fired up, shut right back off. That's a fuel issue. It means the carburetor needs to be done. Alright, first thing we're going to do is take these two flatter Phillips head screws out and remove this cover. Next, pull off the air filter. Look at it's crumbling. It's horrible. Ha! Nice. Usually there's a plate. I must have dropped it earlier. Oh, there it is. Ugh. Goes in something like that, yeah. So being like that, you just pull it straight out, and then you got what's that size is that? Maybe a 10, maybe a 12. Yeah, 12 millimeter, 12 millimeter, and a 10 millimeter. Take those three out. We're gonna have some hoses. Looks like we got a hose right there, just pulled right out. We got another one right here that pulls right out. Fire. Just pulls right out as well. Just pull right out. And then this should come right off. After that, oh, metal pieces inside. Goes inside of it. Whatever. All right. Now we're gonna go ahead and grab the fuel line with a fuel line clamp. Pull it off. There's a fuel on off valve that we've shut off. Oh, yeah. No, we did not shut off. What the heck? Now we've shut off. Oh, jeez. Ah, that's nice. That's not good. Hold on. Okay, it was kind of stuck in, so I pulled it out. Boom, shut it off. Just for now, so you can get the fuel line off. We are going to drain all this gas out, but I do want to trap the first bit. Make sure there's no water. It doesn't look like there is any, but we're going to catch it in an empty Gatorade bottle, Powerade, whatever. So get the Powerade bottle set up to catch fuel. I'm going to have to do this with two hands. Yeah, hold on. You know what? I'm going to pull this clamp off the hose and slide this hose out of that loop. Now it'll hang down low enough where I can stick it in there and turn on the fuel. We want to see what kind of gas comes out. There'll be a tiny bit of Gatorade on the bottom, but that's that yellowish color. Just going to drain it out a little bit. It looks like they've got good gas, so it was more of an issue that they just let it sit for a long time. Then they put gas in there, and you know, it was too late for that. Alright, we're going to go turn the fuel off. Yeah, it looks fine. It's just a little bit of the Gatorade on the bottom. Usually the water will separate. You'll see a bunch of water in there, or it'll come out real yellow. If it comes out real yellow, that's bad gas. We're gonna go ahead and drain all this off anyways, because we still have to clean out the tank anyways. So all this gas is getting disposed of, and they usually will screw me on this and fill them all the way up. And oh, thank God they didn't. It's empty. Good deal, because usually it's full, and then I got to dispose of all that freaking gas and start off fresh, and it costs me a lot of money to dispose of gas. All right, so we're gonna drain off the rest of this gas. No, I'm true. All right, so then you pull this loose. It can stick in there. If you got to, just, you know, tap on the side and it'll pop it free. And you get it loose. See, this one, the block is sticking, so just, you know, be wary of the things that are on it and which way they go. I'll kind of walk you through everything anyways. Okay, so it's going to come all the way off like this. It's on an S turn. So you just kind of lift up a little bit, turn, pull it out. See, it's an S turn. And then get this spring out. There we go. And then we'll get this on the table. Okay, so I was getting gas. It's just dripping everywhere. What's this, another 12 millimeter? 13 millimeter. Pop this bolt out. That off. Sometimes you got to tap on the bowl to get it to pop free. I need both hands. So when you get it to pop free, you don't want to break the gasket. Look, it's wanting to break right there. We want to try to just get this removed without breaking the gasket. So we'll see how that goes. And that's not gasket, that is silicone. Silicone and gas do not mix. They do not make a gasket. I don't care how good you are, it does not work. Jesus. I'll put the proper carburetor and gaskets in the description below. People. Alright, we're going to have to take this jet out. See, the jet's clogged solid. So you can't use silicone because the gas melts it. You can't do that. Alright, it's got to be rubber or paper. Rubber O-ring. Alright, now you got the jet out, you can get the float out. It only goes out one way. I believe it's this direction. I believe we pull from there out. The side, pull the float and needle valve out. Oh, fucking dropping shit. That out of there. Alright, let me go get my good stuff. I gotta get all this silicone picked out of there. Pull out really well. Some staining is okay, just gotta get the thick stuff out so it doesn't clog the jet, which is clogged. We're gonna go ahead and start doing acid on this stuff now. So set this up here because we got this little hole right here and this little hole right on here, and then this jet that have to get acid dipped. I use 14 karat gold testing acid. It's a 14 karat gold testing solution. This will burn your skin, it'll burn your eyes. Wear goggles, wear safety gloves. Vinyl ones work best when you're using brake parts cleaner or carb cleaner. I'll put this stuff in the description. This is my trick. I've tried all kinds of acid. I've melted, like, this is, you know, this isn't the same kind of a carburetor as a Generac has, but the Generac's got, like, the brass is soft, and I melted through the brass jet using the wrong acid, and it cost me considerable amount of money. It was like $200 for that carburetor because you couldn't get just the jet. But you see, you just put a few drops in each of them, and then boil and simmer. Same in those two spots there. Just let them boil and simmer. Yeah. Rinse it out just slightly, real gently. You don't want any splash back in your eyes. Flip it over. Another drop in the top here. Let's see what it does. Just boiling it out. Rinse these out gently. See all the black coming out. Alright. Now I'm going to rinse this gently, but then I got to use both hands and hold it, and I got to force it through with the carb cleaner. So the jet cleared, but it's still pretty dirty. You can see through it now. We want it to be nice and clean. So we're going to boil it each side again one more time. And then we'll rinse it out one more time. Look in it, if it'll focus, you'll see it's almost perfect, but there's a little black in there still. We got to get that out. We want that to be perfectly shiny clean all the way through. So we're going to do it a little bit more on this side, just to get it boiled out and clean. Let that simmer. We're going to go through and rinse out everything. Make sure this is rinsed out real good. Make sure all this is rinsed out real good. Make sure all in here is rinsed out really good. Rinse the float and needle valve really well. Make sure all that's clean. Make sure there's no crusty stuff on anything at all. The bottom of this bolt is very important to get it cleaned off. You got to scrape it, whatever you got to do, just get that tar out of it. So we're going to go to town on everything, and then we're going to rinse this out one more time. So I got everything perfectly clean. I put a new bowl gasket in here. I actually was lucky and had one in the box. I'm going to put everything back together. Don't worry if there's a little bit of grit of sand on. We're going to give her one more rinse once we get it all together. Get it all the way down in place. So I'm trying to do all this with one hand and record. It's a pain in the ass. Oh, you got the pin's got a flat spot on it. That side will not go through. You got to flip it around. The other side will go through. So you're going to line it up, get it all the way through, and then a couple small taps just to kind of get it wedged in there. Now you got this in, you can blow through this hose here, and like this, it shouldn't let any air through until you lift up that float, and then it should let air through. Okay? Alright, yeah, it's good. Now we can put the main jet back in, screw it down, and we're ready to put the bowl back on. Make sure it's completely clean. Make sure everything's rinsed out one more time before you go there. Make sure everything's good and clean, no dirt. One grain of sand can clog this whole thing up. So we're going to go with the drain on the opposite side of the fuel inlet. Pop it back in. And then the bolt, again, make sure that the bottom is nice and clean. Scrape it off, rinse it, put it back on. Alright, so you know, gasket, then black block, then another gasket go on the engine, then the carburetor goes on the engine. But before we go there, we're going to go ahead and put the throttle in. Hold it so you can see, it goes in like this. Boom, that's on. Alright, then you got to put this spring right here into this notch, this hole over here, just like that, and gently slide it on. Do not pull this way too much, or you'll pull this governor arm too hard and it'll slide on the governor and this thing will scream. You don't want that. So just gently get it into place. Get this moved all the way on, just like that. Alright, before we go any further, we've already drained all the gas out. I'm going to use an air hose and blow everything out. If you've got anything in there and you don't have an air hose, just use a rag. Shove a rag down in there, just leave a tip of it out a little bit and it'll soak it all up. Just let it sit there for a while and then pull it out, wring it out, shove it back in there, let it sit there for a while again until you get every last drop out. You don't want any water or anything inside the in the gas tank. Alright. Robert came up with a good point. Don't use paper towels. If you do, they're going to disintegrate and it is going to make a mess. So don't do that. It's got to be like cotton, like old t-shirt or something. Pushing this line through. Push it. Oh, we got to get the clamp back on. Like that. Shove the fuel line in place. And then grab the clamp. Get it in place. Now is a good time to put some gas in. Choke open and turn the fuel on. That way we can see if the carb leaks at all. Fuel in, fuel on. Just gonna wait a little bit. Everything looks so fine so far. Nothing leaking. That's good. Alright, so then we're going to get covers back on. So we're going to put this plastic cover on. Shove in place. We're going to put this metal gasket thing on. It's just a metal ring. It's got little rounded sides. You can see that that's where the nuts were on. We're going to put that in place. Then we're going to put our two 12mm nuts in place. This side and this side. And then we got a 10mm bolt that goes in place down here. Get it started. Now that we got all three of them started, we can tighten them all up. And we're going to step this hose into place. A pair of pliers. And we got this one goes down here. Oh, that didn't go in. It's in there. This one is here. Yeah, I need both hands. Like that. Well, we're going to go ahead and drop this down before we put any air filters or anything in it and make sure that it fires up. Leave that alone. What are you doing? Don't touch my shit. Right, then we'll put a new air filter in here. An air filter cover and the two Phillips head screws. Alright guys, this helped you out in any way, shape, or form. Give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. If you want, all the parts that you might need for this will be in the description below. If you want to do any advertising through my channel, message me. I'd be more than happy to have you. Peace.